What is going on, everyone? My name is Antonio Davido, the host of the Armchair Athletes Sports Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get into this week's agenda with the topics at hand between the MLB, playoff standings right now before All-Star break, the midway point of the season, MVP race is kind of shaking up at this point as well. Before we get into that and dive a little bit too deep into that, let's take a moment real quick to appreciate greatness in Seattle sports history. Sue Bird has been immortalized. Not only is she entering the Basketball Hall of Fame, but she's also being immortalized by, the city of Seattle and getting her own statue in front of Climate Pledge Arena. Very well earned, and here's just a little bit of highlights from her career. She's a 4-time champion, a 5-time gold medalist, Rookie of the Year. You name it, she's done it. Immortality at its finest when it comes to not only the WNBA, but women's sports in general. Sue Bird, golf claps all around, firm handshakes. Thank you for what you've done for the WNBA, your career as an Olympic athlete, a champion with the Storm, bringing that greatness back to the city of Seattle and as well as the Pacific Northwest. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your career. Legendary career to say the least, but let's talk about a legendary status with another Seattle athlete that's hitting some booms right now, not only in Seattle, but across the whole MLB landscape. And you guys know who I'm talking about. That's right, the Big Dumper. My buddy Ryan got this for me. It's the clinch from when we made the playoffs into that 21-year drought. I wasn't able to make the game. He said, I got you, buddy. I got you. So he gave me the bobblehead. Thank you, Ryan. I'm going to go put Cal rightfully so where he belongs. If I can get my thumb right behind me. Be right back. Okay, back to at hand. Start off with Sue Bird, Seattle sports legend. We're going to get to Cal Raleigh right now. Cal Raleigh, I got some notes right here on my iPad, my fine iPad here as we get into it. As you can see, I like Seattle sports. This is episode 1, so if it's a bit shaky getting into the groove of things, just bear with me, guys. The episodes will get better. They will get better, I promise, okay? But bear with me. We're going back to Cal. Right now, he's leading the league in home runs. Cal Raleigh, you heard that right. At this point in time, I'm recording this episode on July 2nd of 2025 at 10:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right now, Cal Raleigh is leading the league in home runs with 33. He's above Aaron Judge, who has 31, as I'm looking at it right here on my screen, as well as Shohei Ohtani, and then right after Shohei is at 30 right now, you have Schwarber, Suarez, Suzuki, and Wood. It goes 26, 26, 23, and down to the 20s, and the list goes down. What's so special about what's going on right now? What's so special about what's happening with Cal Raleigh right now? Unless you're living in a rock or really just not paying attention to the MLB world or the universe of baseball in that sense, Cal Raleigh is having a legendary, phenomenal season. He has set the record for most home runs by a catcher set by Johnny Bench years back. He's doing this and eclipsed this that no other catcher's done in MLB history. Mike Piazza, Pudge Rodriguez, Johnny Bench. The list goes on. I can keep on naming catchers when it comes down to it. But the point is, Cal Raleigh's having a phenomenal season, but it's kind of being overlooked by what's happening in the Bronx with Aaron Judge. So I'm just going to read some stats here right now, and you guys be the judge of it. I'm going to try not be as biased as possible when it comes to it. Judge me if you want, but I'm going to be as even as I can when it comes to it. Cal Raleigh's beating Judge right now in home runs, RBIs. Judge does take him in base on balls, and strikeouts. Judge does have 4 more strikeouts than Cal, but they're right there when it comes to it, right? But this is where it gets interesting. Cal Raleigh has a 272 average. Judge is light years beyond that, right? Judge right now is, you could argue, one of the best hitters in baseball, if not the best hitter in baseball. His average right now is sitting at 363 right now as I record this today on July 2nd. But not only the batting average, the on-base percentage is at 470 for Judge, while Cal's is at 383. The slugging percentage, while Cal does have more home runs, the slugging percentage does drop back to Judge with 735 because there's more factors into the slugging percentage than just home runs. For those tuning in, they'll understand that. The slugging percentage is a big point for right now for this MVP race. As well as the OPS, Cal sitting at a 1.024. Judge is sitting at a 1.025. Right now, you got a close race, and you got people arguing. Who's the MVP right now? Is it Cal Raleigh or is it Aaron Judge? Me, when it comes down to it, I think it's Cal Raleigh. Like I said, I'm not going to try and be too biased about it, but what comes to me is who's more valuable to their team, right? Aaron Judge, phenomenal ball player. But there's a little bit of New York bias that comes with it, and voters and writers bias when it comes to voting. When you wear the pinstripes or you play on the East Coast, Seattle, not a lot of media coverage that comes out of there. Not a lot of people knew who Cal Raleigh was. Let's be honest. Besides the clinch, the bobblehead I just showed you, and getting them to the playoffs, as well as season he's having right now, a lot of people are like, who's Cal Raleigh? I mean, he's a platinum glove winner, gold glove winner, right? He did that last season, and his stats have only gone up each season. He is slowly becoming the face of the Mariners. And I heard one of the best analogies when I was listening to the morning radio show here for Seattle Sports. I believe it was on the Brock and Salk show. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, but I can't remember exactly who the analyst was that was talking about it. But he was saying when it comes down to it, if I had a vote, I would vote for Cal Raleigh over Aaron Judge over this. The catcher position. It is way harder to do than Aaron Judge in the outfield, right? He said, to put into football terms, Cal Raleigh's not only the quarterback of his team, but he's also the middle linebacker. He's the guy that has the green sticker on the back of a helmet that's calling the plays, facilitating, making sure the defense is in the right spot, making sure the pitcher's hitting the right spots to attack the batters, to make sure everything is A-okay on the defensive side, right? To make sure he's putting his team and his teammates and everyone in the right positions to make those plays to get the outs. He's also producing on offense. He is the quarterback. He's the one scoring all the runs. He is the one driving runners in. He's also stealing bases. He has 9 stolen bases this season on 11 attempts. He's only been caught twice. Not saying he's a speed burner by any means. But he is very valuable for this Mariners team. If you took Aaron Judge off the Yankees, they're probably still in the playoff race. If you pull Cal Raleigh off the Mariners are 20 games below 500. That might be a little exaggeration. You could say 10, you could say 5, whatever. But the Mariners are not in the position they're in now. They are not going to be in the playoffs, and they still may not make the playoffs with Cal Raleigh. And that leads me to my next segment. National recognition when it comes to the Mariners. The national recognition, I wanted to put pressure on not only ownership, but Jerry Dipoto to build a contending team. That has been the story, the tale of the tape, whatever you want to call it, the last couple of years in Seattle since, you could say, 2001 when they just missed out on the playoffs, and then 2002, they got over the hump, they beat the Blue Jays, and then they got swept by the Astros in the ALDS. I want the national recognition with what Cal Raleigh's doing right now to show that you are wasting talent if you don't make the playoffs. If you don't start winning games and taking this season serious with an MVP caliber player in Cal, so we still say star in some sense with Julio Rodriguez, the bullpen does need some work this year, but they're getting healthy. They may make some moves at the deadline, but they also need to bring some bats in. Ownership doesn't want to spend money. Jerry Dipoto can only do so much with the hand he's dealt with the checkbook he's given. It's not blank. It's not like a New York Mets checkbook or a Phillies checkbook or a Padres checkbook or a Yankees checkbook. It is very minimal. They literally said, we only have X amount of money this offseason, make it work. And also this media attention and the national recognition that comes with Cal Raleigh's position right now in the MVP race he's at. Of course, you need a little bit of parity. Baseball's a long season. It gets slow at times. At the midway point, you need something to talk about. Cal's in the home run derby. He's never done things catchers have ever done before since Johnny Bench, and he's past that. He's on record to maybe tie Barry Bonds before the All-Star break with 39 home runs and be on pace for X amount of home runs. I don't expect Cal Raleigh to hit 73-plus home runs. That's insane. It's absurd. It's delusional. I don't like to be that fan or that, when it comes to it, to talk about it, right? The reality of the situation is the way the Mariners season actually does come to an end will dictate if Cal Raleigh is in that MVP race come the end of the season. No matter what he does, let's be real about it. If they don't make the playoffs, and that's that simple. If the Seattle Mariners do not make the playoffs, it doesn't matter if Cal Raleigh hits 60 home runs. I'm going to say it is somewhat of a hot take, but if the Mariners don't even make the playoffs, Cal Raleigh doesn't win MVP. It will go to Aaron Judge. It will go to Aaron Judge. The Mariners need to make the playoffs minimum for Cal Raleigh to be in consideration for that MVP. It's a bad look for the league. It's a bad look for voters if they give the MVP to a guy who doesn't make the playoffs. He is a generational player, I'll say a sense, and a catcher. You don't get that often, but Seattle is known for wasting talent. The 90s, 2001. God, we all remember 2001. And currently right now, they're wasting talent right now, not only with Cal and Julio, but that starting pitching staff. Cal Raleigh today also was named the All-Star Game starter. He's the first Mariners catcher since Dan Wilson in 1996 to make the All-Star Game. He's also starting in it, which is phenomenal and great recognition for not only Cal's brand, but Seattle Mariners in general, right? But they got to win games, and they have to win. Not saying World Series this year. We would love that. We would just love to get to it at this point as Mariners fans. But for the national media and voters to take Cal serious in what he's doing, he has to be serious about it. One. Cal has to be consistent. No slump in the second half of the season. He's got to be consistent. 2. The Mariners got to make the playoffs. And 3, when it comes down to it, Cal at a minimum probably has to hit 50 home runs and have maybe 125 plus RBIs, which is achievable at this point halfway through the season. The stats I'm looking at right here in front of me. Those 3 things, hurts my fingers. Those 3 things are what needed for Cal to have and to be considered for an MVP. And we need it in Seattle. And that's really all I got for this week's episode. Again, we're getting into it. We're getting back into the groove of things, getting some episodes rolling in. You can find me on all social media platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook. I'm on all of it. We're going to get the podcast going as well on Spotify, so I'll drop the link in that bottom and the bio as well. Please hit that subscribe button. Subscriptions are free, and they do go a long way, and I appreciate the support. Again, my name is Antonio Davido, the host for the Armchair Sports Talk. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.